Hello and welcome. This is Melody from Melody Crochet, and today we're going to be making a beautiful hat together. This is my ribbed brim beanie. I love gifting these, keeping these for myself because the ribbed brim makes them very forgiving for different sizes of heads. If somebody does borrow your hat and stretches it out, it actually snaps back into place really well because of this ribbing right here. So very accommodating. In addition to that, it has a couple other things going for it. It's also fast with a little bit of change, so you don't have to do the same stitch the entire hat, which is really nice, but it doesn't change so often that it's not a great TV or project to have in your purse, because you don't have to think that much, but you do get a little variation, and they go super fast. Since this is size 4 worsted, you can use your Red Heart Super Saver, you can use your Impeccable yarn, you can use some, now if you use mandala, make sure it's mandala ombre, because that is the only one that I know of that is actually size 4 worsted weight. You want a little size 4 on the back of the ball band. Whether it's worsted or Aran is totally up to you, so you can use some I Love This yarn if that's what you're toting. And in addition to that, you're going to need a crochet hook, of course, and this is a size H project. You're going to need some scissors and a needle to weave in ends. And for this project, you're going to need a tape measure, because I don't want to leave you making a band and not making sure we're on the same track size-wise. So after a few rows, we're going to measure together and make sure, and I'll let you know what to do if yours is working up a little bigger or a little smaller than mine. Let's get started, shall we? I'm going to be using this pretty turquoise color from Red Heart Super Saver. This is really easy to start. I'm grabbing my H hook and making a slip knot. So taking the tail, wrap around my finger 2 times. Take the bottom strand over the top, new bottom strand over the whole finger. Replace my finger with the hook, and we are going to yarn over and chain for 12. Insert our hook into the second chain from hook. This is the first one. This is the second one. This one never counts as a chain. So insert, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull under everything on the hook. That makes it a single crochet. And you're going to place a single crochet in that and every chain after it all the way back to your slip knot. That's going to be 11 total single crochets. After that last single crochet, I chained 1 and turned. Make sure you don't work into your chain. That's my chain right there. Every crochet stitch makes a little V on the top of it when you look at the top of your stitches. And we are going to be doing a back loop only single crochet to form that ribbing. So don't work into your chain, but right here, there's the V. Normally your single crochet would be under both legs of that V, but we're going to go right in between the 2 legs of the V, yarn over, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull under everything. So the only difference between a back loop single crochet and a single crochet is where you place your hook to start. And if you need any practice about this, remember all of these stitches are linked down below on their own little video. But I think you're going to do just fine. We're going to go over this for a second here. So insert, grab your yarn, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under everything, and keep on going. It's going to be 11 in the row. There's the last one in the row. You can count if you need to. I just chained 1. I'm turning and I am placing a back loop single crochet. And before you know it, you'll start to see those ribs start to show, and you'll know you're on the right track. We have 63 total rows for our brim. The first row was single crochet all by itself, and then 62 rows back and forth of back loop single crochet. You are going to be working, like I said, 63 rows total, and I want to show you how to count those accurately and do a quick measure, so when you hit 10 rows or 5 ribs, you'll be able to measure and make sure we're in a similar place. So right here, we have our ribs. Now each of these ribs, this is one row, this is another. Here's a third, here's a fourth, here's a fifth, here's a sixth, here's a seventh, here's an eighth, ninth, 10th. So to measure, we're going to place our 0 on top of a rib, and then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So right there, I have 3 inches and a quarter. If I flip that over, it's just over 8 centimeters. So when you get a few rows in, measure, and if your 10 rows measure a good deal more, go down a hook size, and if your 10 rows measure smaller, then go up a hook size. And that should take care of any sizing issues before you get too far into it, because I know how frustrating that can be. Hey guys, I am back. I have my 63 rows. I fold it over, and those very last stitches of each row, I have them practically touching. And then I'm going to take my yarn, it's already around the neck of my hook, and I'm going to go into the top one and into the top one of the next. I'm going to grab the yarn, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull under. So in essence, I'm single crocheting. Just go in the top of each row. There's one strand over my hook. As you can see, go in and in. Make sure that you stay with your correct stitch. And this is the inside of your work. So we're going to flip it. So here's my last one. 11 single crochets all the way up, and then flip your work inside out. We're going to chain 1 from here. We have the line right here and the line right here. We want to place 2 half double crochets between those. So right here, half double crochet, and then the next one is right here. You just want about 1 strand over your hook when you're placing these half double crochets so that they don't get too bulky. And then you're not going to do anything on top of that line, just these 2 right here. You can see there's this opening and there's an opening. So yarn over and half double crochet. Next one, yarn over and half double crochet. And that's all you're going to do is place stitches 2 in between each rib all the way around. Since there was 63 rows, there's going to be 63 half double crochets. Go ahead and finish up all the way around. Count your stitches and make sure you have 63, and I will meet you at the end of this row. Hey guys, already all done with my rows. I counted around 63 stitches, and we're going to be slip stitching into the first half double crochet of our row. He's right there. We only chained up 1, so it's going to be kind of tugging downward. I just didn't want a gap. I'm going to slip stitch and get under both legs of that V of the first stitch and pull through. Chain 1, yarn over, and we are going to half double crochet 1 time into the top of each. I'm going to be working into the one I slip stitched into first, otherwise we're going to get a spiral. I'm going to half double crochet by yarning over, inserting, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull under everything. And I'm going to do that all the way around for my 63 stitches. I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the row. Then I'm going to chain 1 and repeat that. We're going to be doing 11 rows of half double crochet. Unless you would like this a little bit slouchier, then do 5 more. But per pattern, for a regular fitted beanie, It's going to be 11 rows before we start our decreases. So go ahead and do that. 1/2 double crochet in each stitch around, slip stitch in and chain 1 and repeat for 11 rows. And I will meet you at the slip stitch after your 11th row. Hey friends, I am back and I have finished my 11 rows. Just for measurement's sake, before we continue on to close this hat up, right now it measures 7 total inches, so I hope that helps. Let's get started, shall we? What we're going to be doing is closing this hat up. We're going to do that in just 7 very simple rows, but I've chained up 1 for height right there. And I'm going to 1/2 double crochet normally for 1, 2, oops, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after that we're going to decrease 1/2 double crochet. So I yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, draw up a loop, yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under everything on the hook. Now you're going to 1/2 double crochet in another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you're going to decrease again. So yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, insert, draw up a loop, yarn over, pull under everything on the hook, and complete that all the way around. At the end of this row you're going to have 54 total stitches, and I will meet you at the end as we are slip stitching into the first 1/2 double crochet of this row. And I'm at the end of this row. There's my last decrease. The last stitch here should be your decrease 1/2 double crochet. You'll notice when you're making these rows smaller, they're going to start to pull a little bit apart, and we're just going to make up for that by finding the top of that first stitch. Make sure it's not there, that's a chain. I get right into there, and then I chain up for 1. Now we're going to go to the next decrease round. We are going to be doing 4 1/2 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decrease. You're going to do that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the last stitch. Here we are at the end of our row. Now we're going to go even farther, and we're going to decrease again. So slip stitch into the top of your first stitch of your row, chain 1, 1/2 double crochet in the first 3 stitches, and then decrease. Going to do that all the way around. And we finished this row. You should have 36 stitches all the way around, and we're ready for our 4th row of decreases. Go ahead and slip stitch into the first stitch of the row if you haven't already. Chain 1, 1/2 double crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then decrease. Things are going to really start to shrink up after this one. We're decreasing so frequently. Just 1/2 double crochet 2 stitches and then decrease all the way around. I'm back with my 27 stitches around, slip stitching into the top of the first 1/2 double crochet, chaining 1 for height, and now we're going to 1/2 double crochet 1 time and then decrease all the way around. So 1 1/2 double crochet and then 1 decrease all the way around. At the end of this row you are going to have 18 total stitches. Here we are at the end of our row. We have 18 total stitches, slip stitching into the first 1/2 double crochet of the row, chaining 1 for height, and now we are going to 1/2 double crochet in each of the 18 stitches that we have around. This is going to be our last row before we close up. We're going to have 9 at the end of this row. So half double crochet decrease in every stitch around. When you finish, you slip stitch into the first one, yarn over, draw up that loop, but you need several inches because we're going to weave around to make sure this doesn't come out. So I fastened off, pulled out my hook. I have this little hole right here, and we are going to thread that. I like to work on the inside of my hat when I'm closing things up. So I'm going to take this instantly, put it through there. I'm not weaving, I'm just putting it right through the hole in the top of the hat, flipping the hat inside out. And then we're going to sew this up. This is super quick. You're going to go into and out of each stitch around. Don't pull anything tight yet. You'll just make more work for your hands. There we go. I've gone into and out of all of them. So I pull tight, close it up, and then I'm going to go around a few more times. I might even go all the way across. And now we're going to thread it, the ones that are raised up. So I just go right through. Then come back up. You can come up the same stitches, just make sure you don't go back in where you came out because that won't work. So find another entryway, come up the same way that you went in. Go under that pucker one more time and snip. I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys very soon. Take good care. Bye!